Hi, I'm Sam from Vaughan's on the Go, and welcome to my little basement office. We're at home now with Porcupine Place being closed for winter. We haven't had a whole lot to put out, although we have been doing some stuff, some vacations, and mostly working. This is my at-home work setup. What I was going to talk about today is we had a comment on one of our videos. It was a great comment from a viewer. And they questioned why we would build a 12-volt system for the cabin. And so this is what they were saying here. They're going, why go with a 12-volt system when a 24 or 48-volt system is much more efficient? The Rover 100 amp controller, the big Renogy controller we have, could handle 5,000 watts of solar if it was at 48 volts and 2,500 if it was at 24 volts. I would not have needed the thicker cables, and at those voltages I could convert to 12 volt if needed using a converter. And that an all-in-one system like EG4 6000 XP would have been a good choice. Just suggestions. All systems are good as long as they work, all the best. And that's a great comment. I actually didn't know what the EG4 was, so I've looked it up, and I think that's the brand. So a 6,000 watt all-in-one split phase off-grid inverter. That would have been a good choice. So we'll take a minute here and we'll get into why I did what I did and why I designed the system the way I designed it. Okay, why did I design the system the way I did? First, this is new. This is the first video that we're producing that has been partially edited and written by ChatGTP. So we're giving that a shot as well. So the first thing that I would do is I'll give you a review on the system we do have. We started with 1,000 watts of solar panels at 12 volts, 10 100 watt panels. I liked those for the size, and that gave me a lot of ability to be series parallel configurations with the bigger panels. And the commenter was correct. I'm limited to 1,300 watts at 12 volts on that Rover. So I needed to see how I could connect them to make them work the best. And the best seems to be 1,000 watts of panels, 500 and 500 dual strings series parallel. It likes that a lot. And on a good sunny day, I'm bringing in about 65 amps into the batteries that way. So it works quite well. From there, we feed that 100 amp Rover, and that charges our battery bank. Our original battery bank was two 200 amp hour lithium iron phosphate batteries. And in our initial trial, our surprise trial we had, I had that stuff at home connected, and we got a big snowstorm and took power out. So we ran off of that system using the generator to charge it, not solar, and really got to see what it could do trying to run our house. So from that, it worked great, but we needed more batteries. So I pretty much immediately ordered a third battery, and then not long after I saw a sale and bought two more. So we have 1,000 amp hours of lithium iron phosphate batteries for use at Porcupine Place. Those feed into a single 120 volt single phase 3,000 watt inverter charger. This system's worked flawlessly. Since we've installed it, the only issue I had at all was working out what configuration to get the solar panels connected to it the best. Since then, I've added a second, smaller 40 amp Rover charger and 4 more solar panels on it, just to help with being up at 1,000 amp hours of batteries. We were having to run the generator about every 2 days to help because the solar just couldn't keep up with that much battery. It's much better now, and we could go 4 days. I usually don't go over 3 unless we're calling for a lot of sunshine. That's the system as it is right now. Okay, so why really go with that 12 volt legacy system as opposed to one of the newer, more modern styles. When we bought Porcupine Place, it was in the fall of 2021, and I was designing that through the winter. At the time, having never spec'd a solar system before, I was looking at everything that was available, and cost is a factor. We have the entire cabin to renovate. It's not already perfect and it just needed power. So when I was looking into systems, the 48 volt stuff was just cost prohibitive at the time. The charge controllers were really expensive. Those rack mount batteries were really expensive. The system would have easily cost double what I eventually ended up building. And then the all-in-ones, I still don't know if I really like the idea of an all-in-one. To me, then any one component fails, you've lost the whole system. You could potentially have the whole system go down. You're definitely going to have to remove it to send it and get it repaired. So you won't have anything. You won't have a charge controller, an inverter, a charger. You won't have anything. So with it being a modular 12-volt system, I felt that was more flexible, and it was the technology that I was comfortable using. So like I was saying, a big part of my idea was redundancy. I've got a charge controller. I now have a second charge controller. We have 5 batteries. Each one has an isolation switch, so an issue with one battery can just flick a switch and that one's out of service. We have the inverter with a built-in charger. I keep laying on the shelf just a cheap 4,000 watt modified sine wave inverter in case we ever needed to jump to it. And we have 3 20 amp standalone lithium battery chargers. Everything that could be charged off the generator if necessary. So to me, being off-grid and it's our only power source, it felt the safest to have a completely modular system and be flexible. Now, since the time that I was designing that in early 2022 and buying the components to now, things have really changed. Prices have dropped dramatically. I was just looking at that EG4 all-in-one 6,000 watt, and it's on sale for $2,400. That's a pretty attractive price compared to what it was at the time. Now that said, if I was doing it today, I might go a completely different route and buy something like a Jackery 5000 and an expansion battery pack. Put some solar panels on the roof and just run it that way. It certainly would be a lot easier. Again, back then, those were probably $10,000. So it was just out of the range, and they were the newest technology out. Due to the background I have, I don't normally jump to the newest, latest, greatest technology. I let someone else test that out and see what the bugs are and if it works or not, and I wait for the price to come down. One of the other reasons I went with a 12-volt system is I don't think this will be the last system ever installed at Porcupine Place. It was the system we needed now, and we will have it for many years. But we also have Porcupine Express, our travel trailer. Well, of course, that's a 12-volt system. So I picture these batteries, the inverter, most of the components being transferred over to Porcupine Express when we do get to retire and go on our year-plus long trip. We're going to want to be able to boondock, and I'll be real happy to put some solar panels on the roof of that trailer and convert all of this equipment over to being used in the travel trailer. Yes, I could do that with a higher voltage system and use a converter, but why put a converter in when you don't need one? The system's just already 12 volt like the travel trailer is set up to use. So I hope that gives you a better understanding on why I designed the system the way I did. It's evolved over time, and whether it's powering Porcupine Place or our travel trailer for extended travels and boondocking, I just wanted something that was reliable and flexible. 12-volt systems have been around for a long time, and it's known to be reliable. Thanks again for your comment. The feedback's always welcomed. It gives me something to talk about, and I do like to talk. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and thank you for your comments. Keep them coming.